What's up, everybody? Mike here. In this Elden Ring build guide video, I'll be showcasing my ice Battlemage here. And this build is focused obviously around like ice freezing type magic, utilizing it to decimate enemies with this and increasing its damage output, things like that. And there's a few, optional things you can do here. As you see, I got 2 stabs. I also got the shield you can use too. You can alternate between each of them, but I'm gonna showcase gameplay first, like I did in my previous build video. Let me know in the comments below if you feel this is a better way to showcase these builds, show up the gameplay first, and then go into the equipment, talismans, attributes, things like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and kick some butt here. All right. This is a late game area. And I'll deal with this guy. Very quickly decimate him with just this one spell. Hold on, let me showcase. The shield is pretty good, offering really good protection. And you just slice through him, no problem at all. Let's go ahead and get this guy. Now, if you want, you can swap between. If you want, you're taking more risk there though, especially against an enemy that has a shield. So, but this also helps boost the damage too when you swap to the second staff that I'm using. Now let's try out the Adula's Moonblade spell here. 1 attack and dead. Oh. Fine. Bye. This is a low FP cost spell too with Carry and Slicer, so that's why I still have enough mind to even pull it off. For this enemy though, let's go ahead and replenish stock. Switch to Glintstone Ice Crack. Sorry, not Iceberg. Where'd he go? Well, we'll get this guy who's just standing here. Showcase how the ice crag is really good. Missed him though somehow. There we go. And he's down for the count. So as you can see, what we're doing here to focus, all this is very useful. And you see you try to, dodge away. He couldn't dodge far enough. And this Adula's Moonblade was still strong enough to reach him. So that's very good against enemies that will dodge away quickly like that, as long as you're within that range to still hit them. It does take up a lot more FP though. And done. Now, let me showcase this against the boss fight. Alright, so we got boss here at the Mountain Tree. I like to showcase these builds against these world bosses, different ones I still have alive, because this is on New Game Plus, mind you. So I've already killed the main story bosses, hence why don't see me, showcasing these against those. And certain other bosses are just hidden underground when I don't feel like getting to showcase them. So it's easy for me to showcase these against these world bosses. And hope you guys enjoy this. So let's get this started here. I'll start with 2 staffs. Just eating them up there if you want to do that. And then we'll just go in. Already almost dead, right? Already. Now I'll switch to the shield. Let's go ahead and run. But you can see the damage output is just insane with this build, right? And if you're careful enough, you'll dodge. Boom. Boom. Dead. Easy. You'll clap cheeks with this build, guys. And let me talk about why when it comes to the equipment and everything I'm using here. All right, so starting with the weapons of this build, we got Lusat's Glintstone Staff maxed out, plus 10. That it scales off of Intelligence, as you can see here, with it being S with where I got it at. And Strength is another one that scales off of a bit as well, too. But this is going to be the main weapon in your main hand. weight's not too bad. Doesn't, doesn't have an inherent Ash of War skills and stuff like that. Now, you can have the Carrying Glintstone Staff in your offhand if you like. Reason being is it boosts Carrying Sword Sorcery, which we are using. This does not, but this arguably does the better damage output in terms of each staff, right? And then you can swap this this second staff out for a Jellyfish Shield, which I did max out to help with its physical defenses, things like that. It's very good to use overall. Just give you guys an idea here. He also has this unique skill, Contagious Fury. I didn't showcase that off, but this is a good skill to help with your damage output as well too. Basically raising attack power for a certain duration. So I didn't even fully showcase the damage output with this shield until with it. I was more so showing off its defensive capabilities. That to show you guys this is a good shield to have in your back pocket with this build, and utilize that skill when you see fit. And then when it comes to the armor here, I'm using Snow Witch hat. Reason being is because it strengthens cold sorcery. This is a ice / freezing type of build here with a battle mage build here that I'm utilizing, so it makes sense to have this hat on. There might be something else you may want to swap this out with that might give you some better, either towards intelligence or something else, but I feel like this is the best hat to have for this build. And then when it comes to the rest of the armor, as long as you're not fat rolling, you should be good, and you choose what you want basically. I decided to go fingerprint armor here for chest piece and scale gauntlets and scale greaves. You don't have to do what I did though. Like I said, as long as it's decent armor to give you some nice physical protection and you're not fat rolling, you should be fine. Then for the talismans, I have Graven Mask Talisman. Greatly raises potency of sorceries, which is also going to help me do more damage. And that's why I was just obliterating enemies and that boss. And then I have Magic Scorpion Charm, raises magic attack, but lowers damage and negation. So you basically will take more damage. But honestly, if you're good enough, it's good enough, you can dodge, you can block. You're not going to take a ton of damage overall, or none in some situations, and you'll just wreck through enemies with no problem. Then I have Ritual Sword Talisman, raises attack power when HP is at maximum. That's why you see the buff on me, or did before, because that boss did not touch me. I was able to keep this buff on the entire time, which raised my attack power even more, which allowed me to just eat through its HP quickly. And then the last talisman here, Graven School Talisman, which is the lower version of this basically, but still good because these essentially stack on each other, raises potency of sorcery. So these two together will just stack, and you're just going to even do more damage output and just decimate enemies. This is very fun. I love battle mage type builds. I'm not super into like just solely ranged combat, but if like a hybrid build of some kind, like a battle mage, or like how my first playthrough I did in this game was like a samurai mage hybrid build, which is freaking amazing. So yeah, and just to reiterate, like, just have your flask or where you want to here. This can be whatever you want. Like I said, I don't talk about this as part of my builds usually, so I focus on talismans, armor, and the weapons here, and the attributes, which I'm about to get into next. But before I get into the attributes, so in case you missed it, the spells I'm using is Carrion Slicer. That's the low FP cost, close-up melee range type of spell attack there, which it's very fast overall compared to their spells, and you'll just decimate enemies real quick. It's really good with the shield. And I use Adula's Moonblade, which is basically that great sword type slash you saw me use, and it even got enemy to try to dash away from me from a distance. And then this is your nice ranged Glintstone Ice Crack spell, where if you just need to like deal with enemies from range, this is gonna be great for that. Whereas this is gonna do more damage than this one and reach enemies further away in terms of within like that melee range frame. And this is gonna be good for close-up engagements as well. So there you go with the spells there. Now let's get to the attributes. All right, so this is a level 150 build. I have my vigor at 40. So I like to keep the vigor between 40 and 50, usually for my builds here. So it's playing a good amount of health pool. I would never go lower than 40. I would never recommend going lower than 40 when it comes to vigor, because you still need a good amount of health. Now, mages and battle mage type builds, you don't necessarily need a ton of health, because usually, you're a mage, you're usually battling from a distance, or at least in certain close situations, but usually are able to survive. You'll be squishy a bit more than, let's say a more frontline type of build, but that's why the vigor at 40 at least will help with that a bit and give you a good health pool first of all build it. Mine is at 30. That way you have enough FP with the blue bar so you can keep casting your spells without having to refill so quickly. Although a Duel's Moonblade will cost the most, as you saw there, so you only really be able to pull off the Duel's Moonblade like 2, maybe 3 times, if that. So just be mindful of that. Endurance is at 22. That's a good amount of endurance, I feel like, for this build, so you're not fat rolling, and you can have enough endurance to pull off your attacks. Consistently, that is. Strength is at 20, so we can use the shield, a jellyfish shield. And dexterity is at 15, but I was the base stat. This is the samurai starting class, so you would normally probably want to have your dexterity, I think, around 14 at least, to use the jellyfish shield if you want to use that with this build in combination with the second staff in your offhand. Up to you, though. Either or is fine, or if you just want to just not shield it up, then don't worry about strength and dexterity at all to utilize that jellyfish shield. Up to you. Intelligence at 80. I would not push it past 80 because you're just not really going to get anything after that. That's pretty much the hard cap anyway. Soft cap, I think, is between like 50 and 60 for your damage attributes like intelligence, dexterity, strength, faith, arcane. Like it's all like soft cap, like I think 50 to 60. And then the hard cap is 80 for all those. And then I got faith at 14. So that way, you know, you have enough faith here to utilize everything else in the build here just fine. Arcane left that alone. No arcane whatsoever being used here. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys and you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. And as I mentioned before, leave a comment because let me know if you prefer this format when it comes to the build videos where I show off the gameplay of the build first and then go into the equipment, talismans, and attributes, guys. Thank you for watching. My name is Mike. See you next time.